Good morning, folks. Sorry about the delay here. The live stream was a little slow to log on, but I think we're good to go. So go ahead and grab a seat, get comfortable so we can arrive here in our practice. Today you're going to need a strap as well as 2 blocks, and I always recommend having a blanket handy. So once you have those, go ahead and take a seat, get settled in. And then soften your gaze or close your eyes. Begin to tune into the breath. Noticing all the physical sensations as the breath enters the body. In through the nose, down the throat, into the chest and belly. Notice what happens as all those spaces make room for breath and how they release as breath leaves. Taking a couple more breaths, just noticing again the sensations. Noticing all the space that's created inside the body as you welcome the breath. And all the space that you take up on your mat as you exhale and release. All right. Slowly begin to turn your awareness back to the room, opening your eyes, lifting your gaze. Before we begin moving, just make a mental note of how that feels to be connected with the breath. Okay. As you're ready, you can bend your knees, bring your feet out in front of you, and then open your knees out wide as you bring the soles of the feet together, coming into cobbler's pose here. And then rest your hands on your feet and begin to rock side to side. Really easy movements here as we begin to open up the back of the legs, warm up the lower spine. Couple more rocks side to side here. Noticing how the breath can help link this movement. And then pause in stillness. And either tuck your chin in towards your chest or round the spine forward and let your head hang. Couple deep breaths here. Breathing into the back body. So imagining that as you breathe in, your lungs expand up and around the spine, creating space between the shoulder blades and between each vertebra. And then release that, lifting your head back up. And then bring both feet back to the floor, keep knees bent. Bring your hands behind you to help prop yourself up. And just do some nice easy movements here, bringing the knees side to side. All right, pause somewhere in the middle there. And then extend your right leg straight. Take your left leg over the right leg, step it over to the opposite side. And then you're going to come over to the right side. So coming onto hands, your right forearm might come down to the floor. And just rock side to side here. Massaging out the glutes and the IT band on the right side. All right, rock yourself back up. Extend the left leg straight. Bend the right knee, step over the left leg. And then bring hands over to the left side. Either coming down to a forearm here or keeping both arms extended. And then rock side to side. Notice any differences here from right to left side. And just honor that. Maybe the range of motion will be a little different from side to side. All right, roll on back up. Cross both legs, coming back to your seat. And we'll do a short moving meditation here before we really get into the legs, as promised by Loving Up Your Legs, the title of today's practice. All right, so on an inhale, reach your arms up, reaching up for the sky. Let there be space between the shoulders and ears. As you exhale, bend the arms coming into cactus arms. Inhale, bring the arms together in front of your face. And exhale, open them back up again. All right, going through those motions a couple more times. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, bring the hands together. And open back up. All right, a couple times at your own pace, checking in with the breath. See what pace makes this most natural, most easeful for you this morning. Notice the heaviness in the hips as we ground down. And keep the upper body light so that these movements can stay fluid. All right, let's go through that cycle one more time. And then release your hands back down. Bring both hands to the mat in front of you and then roll onto your knees, coming into table pose. All right, this is where you're going to need your blocks. So go ahead and grab your blocks, have them ready in front of you, unlike me. And then once you have your blocks, go ahead and step your right leg forward. Right foot comes between both hands. So you have two options here. Let's do the first option together. Rocking forward and back. Beginning to warm up the hamstring. Second option, as you start to feel a little more warmed up here, is to tuck the back toes, lift your back knee, and rock the hips forward and back from up here. And the legs just come towards straight. You don't have to straighten all the way. See what works for you today. All right, and the next time you come forward, pause there. Bring the back knee back to the ground. Shift your weight forward a tiny bit, really bending into that front leg, and then lift the back knee again. Breathing now into the upper left leg. One full cycle of breath here, using the breath to soften that area. And then release the back knee back down. All right, release your hands from the blocks, bring them up to your bent knee. And then lift your chest up, pulling the shoulders away from the ears. Breathing again into that same area as we begin to open up the psoas. One more breath here. It's going to be really tender, so greeting any sensation with as much compassion as possible. All right, and then release your hands back down to your blocks. And then rock your hips back, straightening the front leg, coming towards straight. And then here you'll see my toes are lifted off the ground, just the heel is on the ground. And then grab your blocks, bring them underneath the shoulders, and reach your right arm up towards the sky. A little bit of balance, a little bit of stretch. Find your edge and see if you can breathe into it. One more breath here on the side. And then release that hand back down. And bend into the front knee again. All right, from here, press into that front foot, reach both arms up towards the sky. Opening up the chest, Anjaneyasana. And then you're going to bring your left hand back down to the floor or to a block. And your right hand is going to reach back. Really reach back with that right arm. And the option here, as we begin to open up the quads, is to bend your back knee as well. You might already begin to feel a little bit of sensation here. And if you're looking for a little more, you can bring the hand towards that back foot. One deep breath here. And then release that back foot back down. Bring the right hand back to earth. And then step both knees back together. All right, other side now. Step forward with the left foot. Come on back to your blocks. Beginning with some easy rocking here, forward and back. And then second option is to tuck the toes, lift your back knee up, and draw the front leg towards straight. And then bend again. Right, a couple times here. Using the breath again to set the pace. Breathing tight areas. Sending lots of love their way. And then let that back knee come back to earth. And then bring both hands to your knee. Inhale, lift your chest up. Opening up now the right side. Getting into that big swath of psoas muscle. And then release both hands back down to your blocks. Shift your hips back, coming towards a straight front leg. Again, lifting those toes up off the ground. And then bring your blocks underneath your shoulders and reach your left arm up. One deep breath here. All right, Release that hand back down. Come on forward again, bending into the front leg. And then press into the front foot to reach both hands up towards the sky. This time, right hand comes back to your block or to the floor. Left hand reaches back. As you reach back, maybe bend that back knee. Breathing into any sensation in the quadricep. And maybe reaching for the back foot. Let your goal be soft. Bring All right, so once you're on feet, bring them to the outer edges of your mat. So coming into a really wide squat, a little bit of a V shape in the feet. And you can sit on your blocks if the quads are still feeling a little bit tight, or you can opt to remove them and bring the hips down a little bit lower. All right, from here, bringing both hands in front of the heart. Let the backs of the arms do a little bit of work here to open up the legs a bit more. One more deep breath here. Imagining the tailbone reaching all the way down to earth as the crown of the head reaches up. So really, and then bring both hands back to earth. Reach your right arm up towards the sky, opening out to the right side. The left arm to open up the left leg. And then bring that hand back down and reach over to the other side. All right, release that hand back down to your mat. From here, lift the hips, beginning to straighten the legs, and then walk your feet in so that they come parallel, about hip distance apart, maybe 2 or 3 fists apart. All right, grab your blocks, have them ready in front of you. And just begin to alternate straight. So same as walking out the dog when we first get into down dog. Bringing a little more length to the back of the legs here. All right, and the next time you bend into the right knee, stay there, really bending generously into the right knee as the left leg comes towards straight. And breathing into the right side, into their sockets, and press into both feet. And then one more time, inhale, reach both arms straight up to the sky. Stamp down through that right foot, reach up and over to the left side. And then coming back through center, stamp down through the left foot, reach up and over to the right. All right, back through center. And release your arms down by your sides. All right, from here, coming to the top of your mat, if you're not already there, bring both hands to your hips. And then extend your right leg out to the side, pointing your toes. All right, really anchor down through that left standing leg. And then begin to lift and lower the right leg a couple times. Using the breath to create an easy pace. And then release that. Bring that foot back in. And then step the left foot over the right. Reach up and fold. Bending here into the front leg as you straighten the back. Opening out the side seam a bit more. One more breath here and then reach back up. Okay, release your hands, uncross the legs, and then bring hands back to hips. This time, stepping out with the left foot. Stamp down through that right foot, really anchoring down strongly all along the right side. And then begin to lift and lower. All right, relax that movement. Bring the foot back in. Step the right foot over the left. Reach up and fold. Bending into the front knee again. Let the back leg stay straight. And breathe one nice deep breath here into the side seam. All right, reach back up. Release your arms and uncross your legs. All right, bring hands back to hips, or option to bring your hands in front of your heart together. And then shift weight into the left foot, point the right toes, and then draw them in towards that standing leg. All right, you know where I'm going with this. So standing strong through that left leg. You can leave the toes here if you feel like you're getting nice expansion up through the crown of the head and down into that standing leg. Or you can play around with bringing the foot a little bit higher to rest on the calf, or maybe above the knee against the thigh. All right, one nice breath here, really feeling that length. And then before you release, reach your arms forward. And then step your right leg all the way back, a big step as you reach your arms up towards the sky. Big breath here. And then release your arms down by your sides. Interlace your fingers behind you. Pull the hands towards the back of your mat, opening up the chest. And fold over the front thigh. All right, release your hands, circling your arms down and back up. And then release your hands down by your sides and step back to the front of your mat. Okay, other side now, shifting weight into your right foot, hands to hips or in front of your heart. Point the left toes, bring them in towards that standing leg. And then ground down and begin to reach up with that foot. Making your way maybe to the calf or a little higher. All right, reach forward. Step the left leg all the way back, big step. Bend into the front knee as you reach up. Opening up the chest here. And then release your hands down by your sides. Interlace the fingers behind you. Pull your shoulders away from the ears. And fold over the front thigh. All right, circle your arms down and all the way back up as your chest comes back up. Release your hands down by your sides and step back to the top of your mat. From here, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward, bending at the hips. And then bring your feet to the outer edges of your mat, coming into squat one more time. Hands in front of the heart. One deep breath here. And then make your way all the way onto your seat and onto your back with knees bent. All right. From here, you're going to extend the right leg straight on the ground. Interlace your fingers behind your head. And lift the right foot up towards the sky as you lift your chest up. 2 more times here. Option to use your strap here. And release everything back down. Extend the left leg to straight, bend the right knee. Interlace your fingers behind the head, and then lift up. A couple more times. Awesome. Okay, and then release everything down. Bend both knees, bringing both feet to the earth. And then hug both knees into your chest and rock side to side. Now release your arms down by your sides. Bring your knees over to one side. All the way down to the floor, extending your arms out wide. And then check in with your gaze. Maybe it feels good to look in the opposite direction. Or maybe you prefer to look in the same direction as the legs. See how that feels. One more breath here. And then roll the head back up to center. Roll the knees back up to center. And then come on over to the other side. One more breath here, letting yourself melt into the twist. And then bring your head back up. Knees come back up. Then hug your knees in towards your chest one more time, rocking yourself all the way over to one side. And coming up to a seated position. All right, we'll take one more collective breath together, bringing your hands in front of your heart. You can bow your head, thanking the body, the breath for being a part of this practice, and expressing gratitude to everyone that joined us today. Thank you guys so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed practice. I hope you continue to tune in at 10 a.m. every morning. And I hope to see you next week. Have a great day. Hi, Annie. Hi, Susan. Hi, John.